Sometimes I sit back and I just laugh to myself how funny things are. Man, I started this journey and I just wanted to squat every day. I just want to squat every day and just be left alone. So I did that, and then I hurt my hip because squatting every day, really heavy, training maxes every day is not sustainable basically, and you end up hurting your hip. That's what happened to me. So then after a long freaking while, I worked out that, okay, the best way to treat that hip pain is to do high rep squats. So then I started doing sets of 50 and a million and all that sort of stuff, and my hip starts to sort out. So now I'm squatting heavy, I'm squatting high volume, and then all of a sudden I realize my hip internal rotation starts taking a dump, and I start getting poorer and poorer mobility in my squat. So then I look around and start reading, and I realize, oh, look at this. I need to do single leg work. Unilateral leg work increases your hip internal rotation, which is going to help you squat again. So then I start doing unilateral leg movements, and I realize, well, my quads are getting freaking pumped up. This is where I'm at now. My quads are getting so pumped up, and when I reach back, my hamstrings, they don't exist. So now I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, I can't be like this. I can't be just all glute and quads. I need to do something for my hamstrings. So then today I've kind of come in here and I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. It's just like a big rabbit hole. Like I'm just running through. So today I woke up at 5 p.m. after a night shift, and I'm like thinking about all this stuff, and I'm like, I just want to squat, and I ended up here. So now I'm thinking about hamstrings. I need to do something for my hamstrings. So I did some reading, and I knew a lot of this stuff, but some more reading always helps. There's 4 hamstrings, 3 of them cross the hip. 3 of them are involved in hip extension as well as knee flexion. So, doing deadlifts is all fantastic, but the 4th guy gets left out. The 4th guy the 4th one doesn't cross the hip, so it's not involved in hip extension. So you need to do some sort of knee flexion in order to get all the hamstrings. So I came in here, jumped on my trusty lying bench hamstring curl machine, and I ended up doing a whole bunch of sets, and I forgot to record a single freaking one. So before you're seeing this, I ended up doing a whole lot of hamstring work. I did that, hit some squats, I got up to 160, I think it was for one, and then after that I decided to do some deadlifts. The reason why I decided to do deadlifts is because I feel like the best way to train hamstrings is through hip extension. However, not all of them get worked by that, so you need to do some sort of hamstring curl type thing to get all of them. So see how funny this is, man. I started my journey and I just wanted to squat every day. I had the belief that if I just squat, just do my skill over and over and over and over again, that's all you need. Took me a long time, a lot of stubborn thoughts, but I realized you can't do that because my hip pain stopped me and I started getting real bad hip pain. Then I worked out the high reps worked. That was fantastic. And then my mobility started getting worse and worse and worse, which led me to read about all this other stuff. Apparently, internal hip rotation is a key to human performance, especially athleticism, especially squatting. So now I'm doing unilateral leg work, and my quads have been getting pumped like crazy. I'm doing high rep squats. I'm doing high rep unilateral Bulgarian split squats, and I'm just looking myself in the mirror, and I'm like, man, the quads are starting to get really big, and my hamstrings are just hanging on by a thread. So here I am. It is just funny how things happen like this, man. You start at one place and you end up in a completely different place. This is the basically the definition of my journey. All these discoveries, all these solutions to all these different problems are pointing me in a direction where I'm beginning to understand that minimalism in its essence is impossible. You can't just squat. You can make squatting your number one priority, but you're going to have a whole bunch of people, as I say, a whole bunch of people involved in the same thing, meaning exercises. The analogy that I'm thinking right now is that you can take Cristiano Ronaldo. You can be a prince from Middle East or something and buy a club, 5th division club in England, soccer club. Billions of dollars. You can approach Ronaldo and buy him for like $50 billion, get him into this 5th division team, and you're probably not going to win a lot of games because who's supplying the ball to Ronaldo? Who's going to give Ronaldo the through ball so he can run on goal and score? You need people in the back. You need people to defend. You need a goalkeeper. You need a midfield. Just like that. You cannot have just massive quads and massive ass and expect to squat big weight. Your hamstrings are going to slow you down. You need to balance everything out. And so this is where I'm at right now. I am in love with minimalism, not just in weightlifting, but also in life. I don't like excess living. I don't like owning a billion different things. I like the fundamentals and do really well in the fundamentals. However, you can't live with nothing. You need some freaking clothes, you need shelter, you need water. You need all these different things. And sooner or later, you end up with a whole bunch of stuff around you. So this is where I'm at. I want to squat, but I have to take care of my hip pain. I have to take care of my internal hip rotation, and I have to take care of my hamstrings. So because of these discoveries, I'm coming into basically full 360, and I'm coming around to square one where I'm like, okay, I need to do a whole bunch of these. Now, this is an evolution. Ivan is not a PhD in sports science. Ivan is not a physio. Ivan is not Ivan Abadjev's son. I don't have weightlifting background. I'm not a powerlifting champion anywhere. This is just a learning experience. I'm taking you guys on it. And these are the revelations. These are the solutions that I'm finding. Now, squatting seems simple. But the moment I tried it, years ago, I realized far from it. The first time I tried to squat, I rolled backwards and I basically ended up on my ass, on my back. Just like that, when you see somebody squat effectively, there's a lot more things going on. So this is the journey that I'm on right now. So squats, high rep squats, hip internal rotation, unilateral work, and now hamstrings. I came in here, did a lot of lying leg curls, and I feel good. I feel good with them. And so this is what I'm planning to do. I'm going to do hamstring work one day, and I'm going to do Bulgarian split squats the next day. And I'm just going to try and just go back and forth like that, because high rep work means that you need rest days after that. It's not just like hitting a training max. When you're pumping these reps, you need to actually let your body repair whatever damage you've done. That's where I'm at. It's just ironic. It's funny. I catch myself thinking about it all, and I'm like, it's just minimalism is great, but there is a fine line to that as well. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.